Judge Judy's makes remarkable confession about 90-year-old husband's impressive physique. Hey buddy, welcome to our YouTube channel. Hope you all are so well, so let's begin. Judge Judy Sheindlin opened about her happy marriage to Jerry in a new interview during which she lavished his appearance with praise. The Judy Justice star spoke openly during a chat with CNN anchor Chris Wallace, who asked her about the secret to her longtime relationship. "Well, how do you stay married for 47 years? She pondered. "You get a little hard of hearing. Both of us. And we're together a lot. Jerry retired about 20 years ago, but he has his own thing." She then proudly confessed that Jerry still takes pride in what he looks like. "He takes wonderful care of himself," she said, "and I sort of like it because he maintains that physique that I fell in love with 48 years ago. Still has a sense of humor, still really smart and sharp." Judy's marriage to Jerry is her second, as she was previously to Ronald Levy, who she had 2 children with. She originally pressed pause on her career to focus on being a stay-at-home mom, but when she decided to return to work, Judy claims her husband didn't like it. The 81-year-old said Ronald viewed her job as a hobby, and there came a time where I resented that. The pair eventually divorced, and she later met defense attorney Jerry in 1976 at a New York bar. Jerry was still married to his then-wife, even though they had been separated for years. Judy, then a New York prosecutor, was not impressed with his lack of desire to divorce and told him not to call her until he'd filed for divorce. Talking of the decision to tie the knot for a second time, Jerry said, "I picked her up from work at family court one day, and we were walking through downtown Manhattan. Suddenly I said to her, 'This is silly. I'm uncomfortable being with you all the time and not being married to you. Let's get married again.' She said, 'Well, how are we going to do that?' I said, 'The clerk's office is right up the street. We can go in and get a license.' The 2 lawyers quickly had their license in hand and asked Jerry's New York Supreme Court Justice friend to officiate their wedding at the courthouse. Judge Judy first divorced Jerry Sheindlin over 30 years, but it doesn't mean she didn't learn lifelong lessons from the split. That's a long story, but the end of the story is, I found that most men were alike," the beloved TV judge said while appearing on Who's Talking to Chris Wallace, of why they remarried. They wedded in 1978, separated 12 years later, and remarried in 1991. "They have basic needs that are different from women's," she added. "They like to be fed. They like to be cuddled. They like to have their alone time that you take out the alone box and leave them alone. And if you feed them and love them up a little bit and don't get in their way too much, they're happy." She says despite their ups and downs, there's a secret to their lasting romance. She's still attracted to her hubby. "He takes wonderful care of himself," she gushed. "And I sort of like it, because he maintains that physique that I fell in love with 48 years ago." Judy, 81, says the former New York Supreme Court trial judge, 90, still has a sense of humor and is still really smart and sharp, noting, "We're together a lot." Jerry retired about 20 years ago. He has his own thing. But this isn't her first marriage. She was first married to prosecutor Ronald Levy from 1964 to 1976. They had 2 children together, a daughter Jamie Hartwright and a son Adam Levy, 56. When she married Jerry, she became a stepmother to his 3 kids from a previous marriage, sons Gregory Sheindlin and Jonathan Sheindlin, and a daughter Nicole Sheindlin. Judy says she first divorced because of the stress she endured from the death of her father, Murray Blum, but they remarried months later. "I missed her presence the very first week that we were separated," Jerry told Marlo Thomas in Phil Donahue's 2020 book, What Makes a Marriage Last. "It was the first time in years that we didn't get to see each other every single day," he continued. "It was such a strange experience."